All right, another word problem for you, and I'm going to use, I call these analogous numbers. Um, Comes from the word analogy. So I'm just making up whole numbers instead of using these fractions. So this one says the recipe Nicole is making for dessert calls for 2/5 cups of Oreo cookies. I'm going to change that number 2/5 to, I'm going to change it to the wrong number on purpose here. I'm going to change it to 2 cups of Oreos. All right. And if Nicole is already filled, we're going to pretend that this is 3 cups of Oreos. All right. So we're just kind of sticking with what the numerators say. What fraction of Oreos does she still need? Well, based on the way that I've written this problem here, it doesn't make sense. She's already filled it with 3 cups, and the recipe only called for 2 cups. So I probably used the wrong analogous numbers. I'm going to change this number instead of 2 to 3. And this is actually helping me figure out what operation I need to use. Anytime where the numbers, you get different answers based on where the numbers are. That's chances are it's subtraction or division. The order matters here. So in this case, the recipe calls for 3 cups. She's already filled it with 2 cups. So how many instead of what fraction of Oreos does she still need? It'll be 1. We would do 3 minus 2. So similarly, we're going to use the fractions here. 2/5 minus 3/10. And in order to do this, we're just going to have to get a common denominator, and you might be able to see it already. It looks like it's going to be 10, so this will be 4/10, not 2/5. All right, all I did was multiply my denominator 5 by 2, and I did the same thing with my numerator 2. I multiplied that by 2. And you actually don't have to change this one. That's the nice thing about using 10 for your denominator. You could have used 50. I know some people would use 50 because a lot of people are just comfortable using whatever the denominators are and just multiplying them together. That will be okay. I think this is an easier way though, just because chances are it's going to be in simplest form when we're done, and that is the case here. Nicole would need 1/10 more cups of Oreos. One more problem for us here, and in this one I'm doing it too high, too low. For a singing contest in which 42,000 votes were cast, I'm going to circle that. That's kind of important. 42,000 votes. The winner received 3/5 of the vote. So the winner didn't get all the votes, just 3/5 of the votes. How many votes did the winner not receive? Well, too high here would be 42,000. And the reason I get that is because the winner didn't receive all the votes. It says they received a fraction. So this word not here, the winner would not receive 42,000. That would be too high. And then I guess for too low, 3/5 of. So it's like not all 42,000, but a little close to half. Half would be 21,000. So how many votes did the winner not receive? Um, I'm gonna say that 10,000 would be too low because 21,000 is half, and the winner did not receive um, slightly less than half. All right, so the winner would have received 21,000, a little more than 21,000. So I think this is a good range of numbers to get our estimate. As far as the actual answer here, we got to guess about what the operation is. Some people might say division, multiplication. This word of is your tip off. A lot of times in fractions we say 3/5 of a number. What that means is to multiply. But in the process of multiplying here, you're going to be dividing, because we get 3/5 times 42,000 over 1. So you're going to be actually, when you make this into a improper fraction, you're actually going to get 5 on the bottom here. And we could cross reduce this if we wanted to. I'm not going to. But you're going to get 5 on the bottom, which means you're going to be dividing by 5 in the end. So 42 times 3 is, I'm going to skip doing that out for now, but take my word for it, it's 126. And then we'll add those 3 zeros onto the number. And then we would do 126,000 divided by 5. So it goes into 12 twice. We subtract. It's going to go into 26. When I write that down, when I take my time here, that's going to go in 5 times. I'm going to write that number right above the 6. We're going to subtract, bring down that 0 right there. and that goes in twice. And then we can put 2 zeros above these last 2 zeros, right? Because 2 times 5 is going to equal 10, and if we subtract, there's going to be nothing that goes in. So 25,200 votes. Now, be careful here. This is definitely a wolf. How many votes did the winner not receive? The winner received, we said that the winner received slightly more than half of the votes, and half was 21,000. So this is how much the winner did receive. So we've actually got to take that number and do 42,000 minus 25,200. And as we do this out, looks like we're going to get our answer to be 16,800. And we said too low was 10,000, so that number at least fits our range of numbers here. One other way we could have done this would have been a shorter way to do it. Since the winner received 3/5 of the votes, the fraction the winner didn't receive is 2/5. So we could have done 2/5 times 42,000, and we would have got this number right away without the subtraction.